players. All of these guys are very experienced. Both teams are full of pros.
Yes.
So these guys are certainly not new to this sort of stage environment that they're here in Los Angeles. So they're very much experienced. But how do you just mentally reset yourself by the fact we just like we took 6 minutes banging our heads against the walls and then they just smashed us aside on one attack?
Well, you don't. You just throw that out. There's
Forget,
it's
reset.
It gives you absolutely no value to be dwelling on that last map at all now. I mean, when you come into the second map, if there are takeaways that you've already been able to drag out of what happened on Hanamura, then you employ them here if you can. It's unlikely that that's going to be the case. I just think the Russian teams, a lot of their players, are able to play in sort of more comfort positions and comfort roles here. The German squad, we're seeing a lot of versatility from that team, I believe. They're playing across a whole different range of roles. Not working quite as well, though.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2. It is the escort map. It is Route 66, and it all begins at Big Earls. That is the garage section that you're all aware of. A lot of defensive teams tend to set their stall out on the roof. Some around the side. As you can see, RTA at the moment perched up on high, as Reapers tend to be. Where
very edgy, of course.
Getting yourselves around there, yeah. But, I mean, we saw a solid defensive hold from the USA against Chile here. Obviously, we saw, not Shadowburn, I was about to say. I'm so used to Genji and Shadowburn just being one in my mind. It was actually Seagull, of course, going off with the Genji. Are we going to expect to see the same here? I don't know. We'll see how it works out. There is no Genji, of course, for Germany. No. It is going to be Russia on the attack. And here we go.
Yeah, so of course Shadowburn is going to be on that Genji. Probably no surprises there to you guys. And ANAC on that Xayah. So the only weird pick perhaps is Unfixed. Don't see play of McCree that much, but we know we can do it. We've already seen him so far in this series bring that one out here. So I was hoping to see the Diva from Reds, but that's another story now. So this payload will get forward a little bit more. RTA is going to go in. So it's actually the dive comp here between the Reaper and the Winston. But Russia disengaged very quickly. Look how far back from the payload they already are. Very quick and crisp response from the Russian squad to realize the Germans were coming for them.
Yeah, but that was a splintered push from Germany. Actually, when we went 3 in, the other 3 were a little late to respond. Now they can come around the corner, try it a second time. Russia back away. Still no eliminations at the moment. Nobody going down. Nobody being picked off until Shadowburn strikes. Skipjack goes down, and suddenly Germany at 1 man down, and then they're going to get pushed on. The Russians are surging onto Big Earls.
Shadowburn going to press forward now as well. And do note, on Germany, not seeing the McCree for RTA, which for me is a bit of a weird one. I honestly think that's how you want to shut down a team that's going to be bringing Shadowburn. You're playing against Shadowburn, right?
You know what he's going to do.
Shadowburn tells you no one ever plays around him when he's in his teams. I'm sorry, they play around Shadowburn. It's what you do when you have a Genji player of this caliber. So you deal with that. You respond to him by bringing ideally in a McCree who can deal with the Genji in your backline. I mean, this is just kind of fairly standard stuff for some of these players, but they're going to play Tracer Reaper into this composition, which in my opinion is not really that robust.
Well, Shadowburn, the man on your screen right now, has that Dragon Blade ready and waiting to go, and he's already looking to get the flank, get around the side. The rest of the team just working it through, and here he goes, dives on in there. Doesn't get the first slice which he was looking for, so doesn't manage to get himself the reset. Now he might be able to get the Xayah, finally gets himself the kill there. The Graviton Surge comes in, pulls them all in there, absolutely executes the team. Skipjack, the final man, gets picked off, and Russia get themselves a clean run around the corner.
If you play Genji, often you might feel that a lot of Genji's power is more tuned towards his Dragon Blade, and the shurikens don't always feel that satisfying. If you hit a triple headshot and you dash, you are going to do so much damage, and Shadowburn understands that. There are a lot of combos available to a Genji player to get the most damage possible. I've got to say, ANAC right now, playing incredibly well. 58% average energy across this map so far. He's doing a lot of damage.
Well, sound barrier from the Germans. Katos coming around the sword. Are they going to have enough, though? The Graviton Pulse Bomb combo is ready and waiting to go if Internet wants to pull it off. He has, but where's Icefeld? He's nowhere near it. Gets himself the Pulse Bomb out there, tosses it in that general direction, but there was nobody to hit there. I think he just looked for the Graviton Surge just to throw it out without really countering what was in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had time to check who was inside the Graviton, so he's like, well, I'm going to throw this bomb, and if someone's in there, they'll die. If not, well, hey, that's fine. We still won the fight. So it's fine. I mean, you charge that up so quickly. Look, Icefeld's already got 45% of his ultimate ready to go, so it's really not the end of the world, and he'll have it back for the next fight, essentially, anyway. Internet Hulk. I want to have a look at this guy as well, because we're talking about how well ANAC's playing. Hulk has struggled to get good energy charge up on Xayah. I think 33% has been his average, which is not bad. but I've heard a lot of players, wins especially from Rogue, say it is hard to get good charge when you're playing up on the high ground where the enemy team can quite easily see that you've got your shield on you or someone else.
Yeah, I'm so confused by the team comp right now. But anyway, let's keep on this one. Shadowburn once again pulls out the Dragon Blade, but instantly gets slapped down by Skipjack from the hammer. An Internet Hulk comes around the side, quick right click to the head, and that will be Rubicon going down. I was going to go back to the fact that I'm so confused by RTA playing Winston, Internet Hulk on Xayah. It's definitely confusing, especially RTA known as a DPS player.
Yeah, I mean, RTA often actually did have the deflection towards the Winston role. In Dignitas, it was first Lynx that used to do that. He played Xayah and then Winston, and RTA actually was not above playing the Monkey Man, or the Scientist Man, if you want to put it that way. So it's reasonable. This does leave Germany with not a lot of front-loaded damage. It means that Icefeld's really the only one to do it, and that means that they're just trying to be durable and just weather the storm again.
Skipjack gets boosted up. The charge doesn't really hit the mark, but he manages to catch Unfix down nonetheless. You can see that is the McCree being picked off. There's Icefeld getting around the side, and the Germans are holding strong here. Russia really struggling to get around this corner on this second marker, and this is what we were talking about. Once you hit this point, this little angle, it's very hard to complete. And if you get caught up there, now with just a minute left to go on the clock, Russia are finding themselves in real trouble spot here. They've got probably one chance, maybe a second chance to push on this before the map's finished. And what, we're at 69 meters.
Right, and you can see that Shadowburn obviously already having switched to the Reaper to respond to this tanky, heavy lineup here from Germany. And Unfix on the Tracer here. So Icefeld's ready though. He does have a Pulse Bomb available. Now, he won't have the combo with Internet Hulk to make this one easy. So he's going to have to stick it to someone, ideally. But for now, bit of damage off from the fringes here. Germany want to wait to see what Russia do and then leap upon them and start the fight here. Not a whole lot of ultimates, but there's that Pulse Bomb coming out now. A heck of a lot of damage being done to Reds here. He's going to try and make the most of this one, but Red survives and he gets the Earth Shatter down.
The Biotic Grenade just keeping him alive. The Sound Barrier comes out to keep things going. Unfix gets himself one, gets himself two. Reds comes around the side. Icefeld's doing what he can for the back, but the rest of his team have been splintered, and the payload is continuing to move without Icefeld having any effect.
Now, Icefeld, you have to stall this one out. You cannot really let Russia get another point. There's no time left in this one, but Russia will get a time extension if they reach these doors. Icefeld ultimately falls to Rubicon, of all people, to the Ana now, and it should be Russia getting to this next checkpoint. The game goes on.
Wow. What looked like it was going to be all over, Germany suddenly crumble at the last, and bit of a wounding effect. We saw the same with Spain actually against Canada early on. It looked like they've held out so long, and then suddenly in the last minute in overtime, they managed to sneak on through Canada and take it to that final map. Now, will we see the same here? Germany, they've got a lot of ulti-charge, so they should be able to stop Russia dead here, but they've got only a minute left on the clock, so Russia, they kind of have to make this work.
Graviton Surge going to come in here as well, but Shadowburn doesn't care. He's going in the back. 2 kills coming out from the Death Blossom. It's Rusta and RTA falling by the wayside. Kratos has to back away. He gets the boot, but Icefeld picks it up. It's the alley boop, in fact. And then Unfix is going to find Icefeld pressing forward here for Russia. Again, Germany using some ultimates in that situation and getting very little value for them. Into that Hulk Graviton Surge, that's a game-winning ultimate on its own. But here, it doesn't get much at all.
40 seconds to go. You can see the marker on your screen. That's all they need. The rest of the team pushing on. Nano Blue's ready to go from Rubicon. Who's he going to pick up? He's going to go for Reds, I feel here. You can see he's the man that's going to have his Earth Shatter available any moment now, but he's going to give his Skipjack, gets caught out. Godspeed takes him down. Unfix gets the kill in there, and now they're going to push on through. You can see the Nano Boost on Shadowburn, tries to work down the Lucio, get around the side, get himself another. Anak takes down Internet Hulk, and this looks like Russia may well have just about done it.
Perfect Graviton coming out from Russia now. That's going to catch the reinforcements from Germany coming through. They have barely any chance to get to the payload, and Skipjack charges through, but it's not going to be enough. Anak takes him down with a moment's notice, and Russia were on the very brink of not even finishing this map, but they get given a stay of execution, and they move forward to take the third and final stage in style. They're going to finish the map. That's 3 points, and that sets quite the challenge to Germany now, who need to, at the very least, replicate this performance.
Yeah, smiles on the face of Russia. They know how close that was before that second payload marker, and suddenly Russia are looking very solid here. German, that's some pretty glum faces there. That is looking like a team that is a little down on themselves, and you know, they should be a little bit more happier. They held on strong. They almost managed to hold them off. So, but now they know, as we discussed right at the beginning of the show, the top of the show, about this map, it is a tough map to finish. And with what, only a minute to go, and they're coming around the corner on the final marker, they just make a home stretch run without being stopped once. That's a little problem for Germany.
And it's not to say that Germany didn't have actually the tools to potentially, you know, push back on Russia a little bit more. We saw the Graviton Surge being thrown into that fight by Internet Hulk, but I love the response coming out from Shadowburn. As soon as he saw the Graviton from the German side, he was playing Reaper, of course, he jumps into the back line, he uses that Death Blossom, and he cuts Germany's feet out from under them. He gets on towards the Ana, which was Ruster, and he kills Artier. So that's a big part of your follow-up damage from the Graviton, now gone. Ana loves throwing a biotic grenade inside a Graviton Surge. The damage is real, and you can't heal from that. And of course we know what McCree can do if he gets up close to a clump of enemies. So that right there was a perfect response from Russia. It was one ult to answer one ult, and Russia had all the momentum coming forward.
So Germany, well, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be seeing Torbjorn on the attack. Not really the attacking team, unless he's just going to throw something unusual out there, but we'll see him switch off.
Have you met our friends from Singapore yet, Lee?
That's very true.
We'll get to that later, perhaps.
Something we may see later on today, who knows. But here we go, Germany on the attack. Let's see what they can do. Can they press anything? They need to really go unflustered throughout this first section to start clocking up that time. You can see 2.2 seconds on the board. That will be flipped up to a minute and 2 seconds, I believe, for Russia, if Germany were to complete this map.
Oh, it's going to be the McCree coming in for Artier to kick things off here. So I don't mind this. It's going to be a little bit harder for Shadowburn. He'll see the McCree and realize that, okay, now my routes of accessing the backline of Germany are going to be a little bit less populous, I guess. You can see now Shadowburn, lucky to get away. There's the headshot coming in from Artier. That's how you want to respond to the Genji. No flash required, but still damage done. Now Russia, losing their flanker, are actually going to have to back away. You see, they're not going to really want to start this fight off here. They're lacking damage.
They're lacking damage, they got themselves up on the roof. There's the flashbang, Artier bops away, and you can see the payload just continuing to move unhindered right now. Russia, they're just waiting for Shadowman to get back in position. They're waiting to try and drop down, but if they fail in this first attack, this is going to be Germany going completely unflustered through. They're almost at the marker, and finally, looks like Russia are going to strike.
That was fantastic. Artier got the flash out on towards the enemy Genji, but before he knew it, the rest of his team were taken down. Unfixed came in there. The Deadeye was absolutely perfect. At least 2 kills for the McCree off the back of that fight, and there's Reds to clean up against Skipjack. Germany are hyper aware of Shadowburn's Genji, right? Which is something you have to expect coming into a game like this. But there are perhaps more myriad threats than just that one Genji, and we saw that just there from Russia. I mean, it's quite simple. Graviton Surge in towards Deadeye, an easy brace of kills if the enemy doesn't have a shield, and Skipjack wasn't there to protect.
So positions reset. Germany stacking up around the corner, waiting for the go sign, waiting for everybody to get in position. They're all kind of bottlenecked at the moment, pushing around, and Shadowburn's just saying thank you very much. 6 players in one spot, that is an absolute dream as he carves his way through Germany. And that just really set it up for him. He didn't even really need his ultimate, just one dash through 6 players, clumped together, perfect.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you start to let a defending team get rolling. And if you let Russia get rolling as well, it means that Shadowburn is going to be well facilitated to dive the backline and also stick around to see the result. He had the Nano Boost, he had the Dragon Blade. It's very, very hard to deal with Genji in that scenario. Even if you hit a flash, you're not going to kill the Genji with the burst, and then he's just going to, I guess, shake himself loose of it and go again.
Well, Deadeye coming out from Artier, everybody backs away, nobody getting shown. It does give them enough time to get position around the side of Big Earls, but you can see the Russians all still stacked up there. Earth Shatter ready and waiting to go from Reds. He's just went in to clump up around that payload. He's just going to drop down and drop the hammer, and there it is. The Graviton Surge is answered though. He manages to throw it out there, try and catch him in a loop, but there's a lot of biotic grenades going out. There's going to be Rubicon finally starting to get through, and Shadowburn is once again let loose with his Dragon Blade, and that puts an end to any fight.
I've got to say, Anak is having an incredibly good game. I mean, he's doing like 55 to 60% of his team's damage here. He's equal with Shadowburn in that regard. So we look at Shadowburn now as well, highlighting him as a player who, when he gets those Dragon Blades in, he's probably going to get a wipe on his own. He's been very well set up by Anak, who's doing a lot of damage in the periphery and setting up for those Gravitons. Yeah,
the chip damage, effectively, working them down with those right clicks from range. At the moment, though, you see Shadowburn from his vision, just hopping up above them. Unfixed, trying to get around the side, trying to get that Deadeye, but doesn't get anything with it. The shield wasn't dropped in time. That's what he was hoping for. Tries to get the left clicks, but it's all for naught as the rest of his team start to whittle down, and Germany once again are floundering in the attack, and it doesn't look like, despite the great start, despite the position of the payload, it does not seem like they're going to hit that first marker.
So in an attempt to break the deadlock here, we've seen a couple hero switches on the side of Germany. RTS says, no, we need Genji here, so he's going to have Icefeld play the Winston instead, and he's going to try and break through with this Genji. Now that pretty much relies on the Nano Boost combo again, but Shadowburn gets his first, and he's going to go in already, looking for the Ana. Ruster's down, there's not going to be any Nano Boost coming out. It was already used, but on the right target. It's Sleep Week for God's sake. Skipjack got the outer roll, but he was pretty much spending the whole fight napping. And now Shadowburn around the edges to look to clean up. Gonna have a melee coming in here. And again, Primal Rage forced out of Icefall, but it's gonna be to very little avail. There's no follow-up.
No. The story of the game. The boost comes out, the Graviton Surge through, and Shadowburn and Cleanup Crew come on through. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Russia take it in 2. It is all said and done, and Germany had no answer to the Russians, and more importantly, to Anak and Shadowburn combo that was working so well for them.
Indeed.